Hello, everyone. This is Professor Fritz again from your Humanities 102. And every week, as I've said before, you'll have a reading or readings to do. And my plan is to provide a short video to give you some overview about what you're reading to help you both get the most out of the reading and prepare you for the writing you'll do on that reading. So this particular reading this week, your first one of the term, is by Michael Roth, president of Wesleyan University, a prestigious university. And he's been a teacher for a long time. And the article is called Young Minds in Critical Condition. He has a particular argument about how people are taught to think critically, right? That to be critical usually means to challenge an idea or to doubt an idea or look at it cynically, right? And he has questions about that. So let's just look at some questions for you to consider while you read the essay, right? So for instance, one thing you have to ask yourself is Michael Roth talks about how students look for contradictions in the text, right? So he claims that what writers claim, the things that they say in their writing can look like a contradiction to the reader. And what does Roth say is the right response to this idea? So if a student says, or someone says, oh, I see a contradiction to text, what does he think we should say to that? Like, what's the better way to think about that is what I'm asking you. Second thing you want to consider while you're reading is for Roth, what can go wrong with being critical, right? A critical reader, that sounds like a virtue. Almost everywhere you'll go in college, people will say, we want more critical readers. We want to have critical thinking. Critical thinking is huge. It's huge. You'll hear it again, believe me, if you haven't heard it already. So what Roth is arguing is, and sometimes we have to think about what can go wrong with being critical. So I'm asking you as you read this text, what can go wrong with being critical? All right. So that leads us to the main thing you should always think about with every reading you have is what is the problem that Roth is primarily concerned about? Invariably, when people write something, there's a problem that they're writing about, and the writing is either a solution to the problem or a response to the problem or a clarification of the problem. Sometimes people don't know what the problem is, and the writer's saying, here's what the problem really is. Sometimes they're saying, here's a problem, here's what we should do about it. Sometimes they say, here's a problem, here are the ways to think about it. But always a problem is in there. So what's the problem that Roth is primarily concerned about? And why is this such a problem for him? All right. So you should think about these four questions as you read this very short piece that I've assigned you. So one more slide. There are three more questions I want you to think about as you go forward. One is, he talks about this idea of one-upsmanship. I want you to watch for that word in the reading. And what does he mean by the problem of one-upsmanship? What's the issue for him? Why is that a problem at all, right? Now, naturally, not always, but sometimes writers do propose a better way. So he suggests that what Roth says, he wants us to surrender to the learning experience the way he wants his students to give themselves to watching a film and staying off their phones. You'll see this in there. And so when you read this, I'm asking you here is, what does he mean by that exactly? What does he mean by that exactly? All right. And finally, the last question, when you're done reading the essay by Roth, ask yourself, how can Roth's ideas apply to you, to how you approach our class? I've assigned this reading so that you can think about how to read everything coming in the future of this course in a better way, right? How to understand it better, how to take it in better, how to appreciate what's being on offer to you, right? So how can what Roth says in this essay help you do better in this class, right? What's the right way to think about the class or right way to read the text, okay? So we've given you 6 questions here. 5 of them are about the reading and 1 is for you to think about the course going forward. And in that sense, this article kind of sets the framework for you to approach the class, okay? All right, go read it, do the quiz. Best of luck to you. Thanks.